Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified what is going on. Raymond Ford. I mean, what an impressive performance from Raymond Ford tonight. I mean, look, man, tonight was a great night of boxing. I mean, I know that people weren't interested in the Jake Paul card, and people were interested in the Amanda Serrano fight. And obviously, we couldn't see that fight happen due to Amanda Serrano not being medically cleared due to an exposed a cornea. Now, she came on, obviously she was sad about the situation at hand and she felt super bad. So they've decided to refund the money to the people. I mean, that was the best thing for them to do, and the people is gonna understand. And obviously, she wanted to fight, but it wasn't in the cards for her. Health is the greatest thing, is the best thing for you. You know what I'm saying? But the top rank card, I mean, all in all, what fights? I mean, great night of boxing. You didn't think so, but I mean, I couldn't believe, all of these fights were just good fights, and that's how boxing is supposed to be. The matchmaking was spot on. I would say the matchmaking was spot on, except for the Brian Norman Jr. fight against Nelson Boca Chica. Obviously a lot of headbutts, a lot of head clashing, and ultimately deemed as a no contest, no decision, whatever. You know, um, it to me, honestly, it was just so much headbutts because both fighters were so aggressive. Me, I looked at the odds and I said this could be the dark horse. This could be the dark horse of the night. And obviously Raymond Ford. I felt like there could have been two underdogs to win tonight. In the Janelson Boca Chica, I felt he could have pulled off a victory or an upset because Brian Norman Jr. hasn't been in the ring with a dude like Janelson Boca Chica. I thought his aggressiveness was gonna be uh a lot too much for Brian Norman, a guy who was also aggressive, and I thought it would be tough if he was on the back foot, But Janelson Boca Chica, the timing with his right hand is ridiculous, and that's how he caught Brian Norman. He caught him coming in, just laid him. You know what I'm saying? For the first time ever, Brian Norman was dropped, you know, and Janelson Boca Chica, and I felt like that was gonna be obviously Boca Chica to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was on the road to be that type of fight. I thought that Brian Norman Jr. was just it wasn't athletic enough for Boca Chica. Boca Chica was doing his job in there, and I thought that he could have pulled off a victory. Ugh. Excuse me. It's late night, but we gotta cover boxing. Y'all know what time it is, man. But I mean, Janelson Bocachica was doing his thing. I thought that he could have pulled off a victory if that fight would have obviously continued. His corner said, "No, in second thought, you know what I mean. We're not gonna continue this. You know what I'm saying. It's better to cut ties now instead of getting into this firefight after the fourth round, and you've got this fucking gash on your forehead. You know what I'm saying, and it was just gonna be too much. And I kind of understand what the coaches are saying. I can understand what the trainers are saying. Obviously, Boca Chica wanted to continue, but throughout the course of the fight, it was just gonna get worse and worse, and obviously, it was gonna lead to a stoppage, and that just would have been no good for the sport of boxing. So instead, deemed a no decision. I thought it was a perfect decision for the fight that just end in that second going into the third. Just end there But I mean, you've seen a lot from Brian Orman Jr. Obviously, things that he needs to work on. You know what I mean? And that was only in one round or two rounds. So, but Timothy Bradley, I mean, look, man, Janelson Bocachica throws his elbow, obviously, throwing a shot. But that's the 30 game that I like to see. You know what I'm saying? That's the tactic that you as a fighter need to have. Because if you don't have that up your sleeve, I mean, you gotta if the ref don't call it, then he gotta do his job. You know what I'm saying, at the end of the night. But Boca Chica has been known to be a dirty fighter. I mean, we seen him in sparring against Teofimo Lopez where he literally picks Teofimo Lopez up and body slams him. Yes, I said body slams him. I mean, pretty crazy to me. But Janelson Boca Chica, I thought, could have pulled off the victory tonight. He has two losses. And look, man, I think that this is a kid who's pretty special. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think, undisciplinedness, right? I think that he might be undisciplined. You know what I'm saying? Um, and we get to El Venado Lopez. El Venado, I mean, El Venado is something different. He's a different type of dude. He's a different type of dude, man. He walks with his hands down, doesn't care, chin up in the air. It don't matter to him. He's got the moves, he's got the skills that pay the bills. He's got the moves. You know what I'm saying? He's got the moves. El Venado Lopez, impressive, impressive, impressive fighting. His style of fighting is crazy, and that that telling people to chant for you and then going straight at him and then getting the TKO victory. I mean, that's a cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? That was impressive all in itself. This dude starts gets in the middle of the ring, starts throwing his hands up because everybody starts chanting his name. You know what I'm saying? And he just goes to work, and then he puts in combinations, and the ref said that's enough. I mean, respectable, respectable, respectable performance from El Venado Lopez, 126-pound champion, on his way to try to fight. He's saying he's trying to move up to 130 pounds to possibly get the fight between Oscar Valdez or Liam Wilson. Um, and that, I mean, look, El Venado probably it feels like 126 pounds. The rehydration, is just best to move up. And another person that's going to possibly be moving up, Raymond Ford. I mean, what an impressive, impressive, impressive performance from Raymond Ford. You can't say that enough. Shout outs to Devin Williams as American boxing stays on top. Look, man, he was fighting a tough dude today. And I mean, this was a type of fight where you define yourself, and this is where you find out if you a boy or a man. And Raymond Ford has my all utmost respect. I didn't think so highly of him, seeing him in the amateurs in the on the Olympic teams and stuff like that. I didn't think so highly of Raymond Ford, but I have to this was the type of performance that you need to see from fighters, right? This is the type of stuff that transcends these fighters into becoming so much higher. I mean, so much respect for Raymond Ford, a fighter that's usually on the back foot, a fighter that usually doesn't have the most power, but is just very skilled. You know, um, at times you felt like Raymond Ford was possibly gonna be losing that fight, and obviously the scorecards weren't gonna, the scorecards wasn't going to reflect what Raymond Ford did. They had the Uzbek, you know what I'm saying, winning that fight. But he needed to pull off a victory, a knockout victory, and he did it within what 7 seconds left of the fight. I mean, look, I mean, that's just that's a that's the dream right there. You know what I'm saying? To be in such a firefight, to be in such a respectable fight where you respect the uh the fighters because they're giving you the entertainment. I mean, these dudes were throwing hands in there. You know what I'm saying? And obviously there was times where, Raymond Ford was even talking shit to him. You know what I'm saying? And dude was just he just couldn't, you know what I mean? He just couldn't, but a very durable, very, very good fighter. You know what I'm saying? I believe he was an Olympian as well. And you can see the Olympic pedigree in him. I mean, the dude had power, but Raymond Ford was in the pocket with him. You know what I'm saying? And he was just better in the pocket. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's not the type of fighter that likes to get hit that much, but in this type of fight, you have to throw hands. And I think that he did that very well. I think that this performance right here is gonna catapult him. This is the type of performance that he needed in order for people to now pay attention to who Raymond Ford is, who really Raymond Ford is. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's what's gonna catapult him, and I think that gained the respect of more hardcore boxing fans because not only can you box on the outside, you could fight on the front foot. You could fight in the pocket. You can make a dude miss. You know what I'm saying? And that's the exciting style that needs to be that should be in each boxing fight. You know, each boxing fight should be just like that. You know what I'm saying? Two dudes that throw hands, the better skills, the better man's gonna take the W, and that's it. You know what I mean? Raymond Ford, obviously, even saying in his corner, I'm gonna stop him. Like that right there gave this kid the momentum, the confidence boost to go out there and really stop him. You know what I'm saying? And he really did what he said while he was sitting on that stool. What he told his coach, yo, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna stop him. You know what I'm saying? And coaching, I mean, coaching was great. You know what I mean? Coaching was great from Coach Anthony. You know what I'm saying? He was giving them all the keys. You know what I mean? He was giving them the keys, the motivational speeches, and telling him how to win this fight. You know what I'm saying? He was telling him, look, when you throwing, he's not throwing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the Uzbek obviously he was having trouble in there. You know what I'm saying? In the first 6 rounds, yes, he was doing work. He was putting in work. I mean, it was output, and he was going to with Raymond Ford's body. Even caught and stunned Raymond Ford a couple times. You know what I mean? But you know, Ford just stayed in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the heart of a champion. That's what it takes to be a champion in the sport of boxing. It's heart. You know what I mean? Heart. Even though heart ain't always gonna take you to the promised land, but still, you know what I'm saying? If you got that dog in you, you know you could bring that dog out. You know what I'm saying? You could bring that Rottweiler out at times, right? And Raymond Ford is just not that type of fighter that likes to sit there and exchange with you or nothing like that. But the skill set is there, and Raymond Ford is a must watch. Very, very good fighter. You know what I'm saying? Very good fighter who was on his way. He wants to move up from 126 pounds to 130 pounds. The rehydration was hurting him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get to rehydrate well as well as he would have wanted to. But he still did the job. He got the job done, and I mean, it respectable way to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but I mean, I enjoyed the fights tonight. I think that the fights tonight were great, man. They were great. Are y'all reeking? I don't know what you trying to insinuate, man. But I it, it the fights tonight were all great fights, up and down. The matchmaking was there. They did their job, and they gave the fans what we wanted: entertainment. They entertained us on a night where it wasn't the biggest names, no superstars like that, but still some great fights for you to watch, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I think that every fight was great. You know what I'm saying? Even on the DAZN card, you had great fights on there. Even if you ain't like uh Jake Paul, you know what I'm saying? You still had a plethora of other fighters in Puerto Rico at the WBA convention. Terrence Crawford was there. Hella people was there. You know what I'm saying? It was hella people. I mean, it was just great, man. Devon Williams says, "Are you Puerto Rican?" Nah, nah, bro. I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm not Puerto Rican, bro. But yeah, man. It was so exciting that, like, you didn't even need the big names. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even need the big names, and that's how boxing should always be. Obviously, matchmaking sometimes is a little iffy, and you might match a fight and be like, "Yeah, this is gonna be a really good fight," and in reality, it just becomes a snoozer and a doozer. Nobody wants to see that shit twice ever again, or replay that shit ever in their lives again. But then you get the smallest scale guys, and they come in there and they impress. You know what I'm saying? They impress and they put on respectable performances. And, like, I want to see the Uzbek come back and fight. I want to see the Jap come back and fight. You know what I'm saying? Those are good testing measures for any guy. You know what I mean? But Raymond Ford solidified his name, and now Raymond Ford is on there with Venado Lopez and Ray Vargas, and who else is it? Uh, they got a belt at 126 pounds, but they want to move up to 130 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Possibly get that fight from Oscar Valdez or Liam Wilson. So it is what it is, man. But like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. I just wanted to get it on here, give my assessment of the fight, because I enjoyed it. But we out, man. Peace.